Hello creatives, welcome to today's episode of the 1% Creative. Like you know, this is the podcast show for creatives by creatives. And today I'm joined by one of the finest, I would say finest creatives that I know. And like we do here on the show, we leave the guests to introduce themselves. Before the guest introduces himself, today's topic is very interesting and very unique. And we're going to be talking about the architecture of creativity. Yes. So drum rolls for our guest introduction. Please introduce yourself.
So my name is Okechukwu, Chukwemeka Okechukwu.
Okay, thank you, Okechukwu, Chukwemeka Okechukwu.
Absolutely. So
because I like to short call people's names, so I could just give you an abbreviation of OCO.
You got it right.
Okay.
And that's the name they call OCO.
Great.
Thank you.
So diving right into it, what does creativity mean to you as an architect?
Now, I would love to really give a context. For instance, let me bring it down home. The staircase leading to the first floor. Mm-hmm. You've seen the staircase going to the first floor.
Yeah.
Do you need to see how it is being apportioned to get to the first floor before you take a step to go?
No, really.
Good. That is architecture in creativity. Because it is inborn. If you're very good in creativity is about instinct, inspiration. So when you paint that picture, it comes from inside out, not outside in. What comes from outside is the brief you get. Then what comes from inside is the inspiration and the information you have accumulated. Then you begin to paint and imagine. Is the power of thought. And that power of thought, it depends on how your eyes sees it. I might be looking at you, sitting this way, but my brain is painting a different picture to get what I need to present for people to admire. And that's creativity. And in an architecture, it has to go a long way. And that has to do with concept first, before functionality.
Okay.
Then before form. But another way around, people say form follows function. I and we in Catalambano do not believe in form follow function. First is the concept. And when the concept comes, every other thing you need to fix in place, just opposes each other. Then you get something unique. Wow, it's an open style, no restriction. Thank you.
Guys, my imagination is already all over the place. I mean, it's, you know how you're painting like pictures of, what it is that you do.
Yeah.
I think that's creativity, like the depth of it. So it's almost like you're here, my imagination's already running, here, there.
Absolutely.
Trying to picture all it is that you're saying. Yeah. And it's really interesting. So can you tell us about a time that you really thought about, this is something I'm supposed to do? Like, did you have that moment in your life when you, more like a discovery for you, that architecture was something you wanted to do as a creative?
Let me just start it, but between 20 years ago, 22 years ago, yeah, if I'm not mistaken. That was when I was having the thoughts in me and discovered that it's inborn. Architecture, design, anything that had to do creativity, creatives in terms of bringing something and painting the picture of what others do not see and cannot see elsewhere. This is the first originality. Was when I just came up with the thought that I wanted to get to do medicine. And here am I sketching with sketch pads, doing something great. So many thoughts comes to me. And I said, wow. So if medicine, it's something that one put on the table, you have to go to read the same thing every year. Those coming behind you reads it. The next people come read the same thing. It's not updated. It's what someone. I said, no, it doesn't make sense. It's redundant. I can't be in a constant syndrome. So whereby I need something that unfolds, revolves, keep changing as time goes on. Because if you're a toddler, in the next 2 years, it can be a toddler. So I need something that has a revolution, keep going. And that's where I came up with, say, oh, if I can sketch, I can change pictures, I can change structures, I can change environment, I can change the studio. It will look this way the next, let's say 2 o'clock, the next 5 hours. I might paint the same studio, but a different form. And that's when I came to realize that, look, architecture means something to me. I had to toe this line and be focused and to give it a different dimension in the eyes of people in the world at large.
I can feel how much of passion you have towards, this craft. Again, the question I want to ask is, do you think that buildings and spaces carry like an emotional weight like stories or films do? Because in the creative space, there are different aspects of it, right? And people try to, you know what, you're a creative on this side. I don't think it relates. But do you think that buildings and spaces, carry as much weight of emotions as stories and films do?
Yes. That's where I just brought that initially, telling you about concept. Concept, you're painting a story of what the brief you have gotten from a client, from an institution, from organization. First and foremost, let's bring it down to what we have. You know about historic buildings, heritage buildings. There's some heritage buildings that are in existence till today. They're just about 200, 300, could go as about 500, and still standing. Why? That is a nostalgia. It depicts the culture of that area, and that's why they painted and came up with the design of that historic building. In that case, to now transform those buildings each year or maintain it, refurbish it, those certain historical significant characters of those buildings are maintained because of there's an emotion, there's a psychological feeling the people residing there they have, just like trying to drive it towards tourism. They can tell their children, next generation, this was the reason why the arches like this, and it depicts certain culture or speaks certain language. So we don't need to have that mind of changing it. Rather, keeping that story to be told to the next generation. This is the only alteration you need to do. So in that case, great buildings are a function of time. And time is architecture. Architecture is time, and time is money. And that's the picture, and that's the story along the line. It's a straightforward channel.
At this point, I just might, change my creative process to architecture because, this is very expository and there's just a lot, to learn in this. You've spoken about culture, you've spoken about, how people like feel a certain level of attachment to, some buildings. So do you think that your background, or your culture has also influenced your design approach?
Yes, because in every picture you need to create or any design you need to create, first and foremost, you need to have the background platform to work on. For instance, if I'm meant to design a house for you or a studio for you, there are certain questions I need to ask you, just like a doctor trying to find out from you the vital signs to be taken. Same thing happens to architecture or design itself. You need to ask for the brief. What kind of studio do you want? What kind of instrument or tools or equipment need to be placed? Where do you want them to be placed? Do you want the space to contain more than 2 or 3 people at once? How do you want it? Those things form the brief. Then, in it will now spoil you. When you get back, you now start putting everything together. But to me, as a person, the first thing that comes to me is to listen to the person. It doesn't affect my creative ability. Rather, it depends on how far my eyes can see. As far as my eyes can see, that's the extent of my design.
You have, I feel like you have depth, you know.
Absolutely.
What's the major thing I want to find out is what even got you to want to be on this point? Because I can sense that it's beyond just the designs for you. There's something you want to do in this creative space as an architect, you know. So what brought about that passion, you know, for architecture? And to what extent do you want to take this?
Like I likely said before, what drives me is the inspiration that comes to me when I see things. I've been seeing a lot of things repeating itself time and time in the space of architecture when you travel. Architecture also is about traveling. It's about spending time in different locations, adventures and all that. So when I come across those things, I keep on moving from one location to another. I tend to look at the buildings. I find out that it has to do with different factors that affect the design of those buildings. The designs you have in a certain location is different from the design you have in another location. Maybe country by country, continent by continent, or region by region. So in this, I said, I can't remain in this same space. I need to give it a flair. I need to add some icing on it, change the narratives, and change the way people reason. How? I came out with a picture and said, no. Everybody wants a spare land, just a virgin land. Do the designs, construct whatever they want to construct. The next time, another person does the same thing. You know, there's no much of intent challenge in rewriting the story of such area. And that came about renovating, refurbishing. Well, that came about retrofitting. And said, oh, if you have this building this way, rightly, I can look at it and recreate that building, rebrand it, retrofit it to suit what it talks about at that moment and give it the unique, appealing nature by people passing by and looking at this. Wow, I love this. And when they get inside the interior, they say, oh, this was this and this is it. And that is what I really came up to, that level of saying, this time around is about from one to wow. And that's a picture one is trying to paint. From one to wow.
That's a good concept.
Yeah.
From one to wow.
From one. It's worn out. But when it comes the next couple of months,
Oh,
wow! Just so look, wow!
interesting. So, are there like projects you're currently doing in this line to bring this vision to life?
Yes, it's a collaboration that we're trying to bring up, and we've just started, and that is a picture we want to create and paint to the global audience to see that yes, renovate, and that's the pet project. Renovate. In some other regions, maybe in the UK, they would call it remodeling, alteration, retrofitting, or whatever they call it. But in the African culture where I come from, Nigeria precisely, we call it renovation, and call it renovate pet project from one to wow.
So, has your background or like your culture coming from Nigeria?
Yep.
Did you have any challenges on the way, as an architect, and how were you able to, go through or come out of those challenges well?
Yes, when you begin a thing, you'll face the first challenge, and it will put you in a spot whereby you tend to withdraw. Winners don't quit, and quitters don't win. I believe we are winners, so we hit the road. In that point, that was the first project we had. It has to do with design an office complex of 2-story building, design, build, and handover. DBH. So, and it's a turnkey project. But the challenge we had was that the main client they are just more than one. So we never had that thought in our mind to ask initially, please, can we get the brief from those involved in this project? Just only the principal client that gave the brief. So at the course of the design and the construction started, they came up from wherever they are and said, wow, we're not carried along. We need this, we need addition of this washing closet, we need this addition of the store, we need this. So at that point, you're confused on knowing what to do. So, and the construction have started. One, it affects the cost of implementation. Two, it affects the cost of design, labor, and also the materials. And it is now affecting the total budget of the contract sum. So how do you now go about it? That was the area we got a spoke placed in front of us. Well, how did we do it? Well, it takes dialogue, manner of approach to your client, putting out all the eggs in the basket, making it plain. Hey, let's come together.
Yeah.
This is where we were. If this needs to be added, then it alters everything we're doing here. Are we good, or are you happy if such things could be done, which involves submitting a variation? And to God be the glory, they accepted. But now it extended the time of completion because it's all time bound.
Yeah.
So, but at the end of it, it came out beautiful.
Okay. What's the one truth about creativity that you've discovered that you wish you knew earlier?
Yeah, I wish I knew most of the apps. I wish I knew they came up on board earlier, because we would have gone ahead creating our own apps, not depending on the apps given or presented to the world today at a exorbitant price. So some people will not be able to say, oh, they want to get this software. The software that is an enabler, and it incorporates all encompassing. So that's the area I found out that if one got that software knowledge that such thing could be created, one can easily build his or her own software and get it right from the onset. But we've seen a way around, we can go around it, and we've got it right.
Speaking of software, are you looking in that light to develop something that would help other architects?
Yes, absolutely. And that's where we come up with this Renovate. Renovate soon will move into how do people get this house altered? What software will you use? When you key in the variables, what does it give you at the end? The picture is going to paint to you. Instead of taking the whole day or weeks to get a certain final picture, it will now take you minimal of 3 hours, if you know it, to see different variation. You just have to choose and to know.
I'm very curious. How do you balance originality and functionality?
You know, when I mentioned about functional follow form, I told you in my own case, it's concept. Originality is about your concept. The concept of Mr. A is different from the concept of Mr. B. The originality of Mr. A is different from the originality of Mr. B. So in that aspect, it depends on what is that space meant for. The functionality of that space depends on the way your concept produces at the end of it. So if I have to balance the both, first and foremost, 80% of the whole piece or scheme will carry my concept. Then the 20% of it is how do I meander within the space, the concept I presented. So today, if I'm to pay someone, I pay you on your concept, not on your functionality, on your concept, because it's original.
Yeah.
20% is minimal, can come from anywhere. Because before you come up with that originality, there should be a flow in it, and it must have a function, and that's why it is sellable, and that's the selling point. So that's why I balance them.
Interesting. I mean, I think you've pretty much talked about a lot of things that, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like one question, one response leads to the other. What's your quick thought on how everyday environment affects our mood, our focus, and our creativity as well? Coming from the angle, you've been saying a lot in this regard. What's your quick thought on that?
In the environment, the environment really create, maybe let me say 90% of your thoughts, and also affects the way you reason, either positive or negative. Same thing it applies in designs. Your space, your site, your location determines the picture or the concept you need to follow. First and foremost, I came up about in that Azarango what we call SECAN. SECAN. S, sustainability. E, energy efficiency. C, climate emergence. A, adaptive reuse. N, nostalgia. That's some of the buzzwords, SECAN. That also is a key point on any environmental sciences in terms of design. Is it sustainable, what you're trying to put up? If yes, the checkbox, you've ticked it. E, energy efficiency. Is it really in that, does it meet up that character? Good. Tick. Climate emergence. How is the climatic condition of that environmental space? Is it, what time is it, the sun rising and when is it setting? Where do you place some spaces? Do you need more light here? Natural light? That affects your concept, originality. Then when it comes to A, adaptive reuse, we don't believe in wastage materials or anything called waste, because I believe waste to wealth. If I remove these tiles, I can throw it away. Someone that doesn't have that thoughts in mind will tend to throw it away because it makes no use. But to us, we now do what? Reuse it. And that's where adaptive reuse comes from. It will be adaptive in that area. We can recreate it. That's where you have creativity to turn it up to something unique in that your project. Then nostalgia and environment affects how we feel, positive or negative. So if you bring this thing together, those are the 5 factors in our own mode of approaching design or construction generally. Does that make sense to you now?
It's interesting, actually. Yeah, I would have to still play this over and over and over. But, I mean, we can be here for the longest time.
Yep.
But most importantly, I feel like there are creatives in the architectural space who are not feeling it as it is, who are probably struggling at this point. There's been like what they've known over the years. So it's hard to break away from the norm and, to come out and create something really interesting for themselves. Those kind of people who are probably listening now, what would you advise them?
2 things. First, what is the person's belief? Do you believe in yourself? Can you do something new? Are you open to change? Are you ready to unlearn, to learn? If those people meet those factors, then the first thing to be said to them is, it's open style, no restriction. Some restrictions, no, don't do this. It's not acceptable to do this. No, the best of that person will not come out. No way. Because success is the ability for you to make the person think like you and act like you. And that's where those ones will look at it and say, yes, I believe that I can do something better from this angle. And the second part of it, I believe in the 5 P's I call. The 5 P's. The first P, let me say it in a long word. Prayerfully planning prevents poor performance or presentation. That's my 5 P's. And that's what I have to present to them. Whoever is willing to come into this board, know it. You need to be prayerfully plan to prevent poor performance. That's it.
Thank you. So are you looking to collaborate with other creatives in this space? Are you even opening to mentoring, probably younger creatives who are coming? If you are, how can people, reach out to you in this regard?
All right, we are open because I love dropping peanuts that will grow seeds. And that's why told about success in our own mantra, that success is the ability for you to make other person think like you and act like you. So we are open to anybody in this space, no matter who you are, wherever you come from. Just come, be open, and we are ready to infuse whatever. And we can even learn from you, because as it goes, you have a better platform. Bringing yourself, being in an open mind, and there's no restriction. Play your card. Then we can now guide and say, okay, fine, this is the way to go. Why don't you do it this way? Do you look at it from this point of, how do you come up with your design? You need to write, put up your brief, and that's it. So in that aspect, if anybody who has that zeal, first and foremost, is for you to have the passion for it. If you have the passion for it, fine. You can reach us. You can email us, fine. From there, we can take it up from there. Because we need to do some due diligence on the person. And need to fill up the whole boxes before we go ahead.
You've heard it, creatives. They're open to collaborate and also mentor some of you creatives who are currently listening. I mean, if there's anything I'm taking out of this particular episode, is the fact that OCO here said you should first believe in yourself and let it flow from within. You have no restrictions. That's why we're creatives. We have the freedom of expression. So we have like the creative outlet to, let it flow and be original, be yourself, be unique. It's really a pleasure to have you on this episode with us today, OCO. Before you go, we're going to just lighten up the mood a bit because there's something like we always do. So, we're going to put you on the spot just for a bit. First, you have just 30 seconds. No, 30 seconds is too much. You have just 3 seconds to answer this question.
I just hope I could.
I mean, it's supposed to just be fun. You don't overthink it, okay? If you had a mood today, what would you say the mood is?
Happy.
Okay.
Always a happy person.
Okay, that's interesting. What's your coffee personality?
Mild.
Okay. If your life had a design, what kind of design would it be?
Whitish.
Okay. Whatever that is. Thank you again for coming on our podcast show today. But before you leave, I mean, you've seen this here. It's been part of the show the entire time.
Okay.
This is our mystery notes. And we would have to present you with a very little something that you should open this.
Wow. Wow. Really?
Yeah. Open up, open up, open up, open up, open up, open up.
Shall I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead, open it. It's yours. So let's see.
Ooh. Do you know one thing? I love pen.
Aww.
Oh. Woo.
You want to show that to the camera?
What? How did this thing? Oh. See. Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
You got me.
We're doing something amazing on the show. So that is our little way of saying thank you. But before you flip it back in, we need you to write something here for any creative that is eventually going to get this mystery note. Say something to them in this note, flip to any of the pages and just write something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any of the pages.
Any of the pages, right?
It can be anywhere, front, back. Yeah. Your name, date, signature, whatever. Just write anything that comes to your mind.
Don't mind me. My signature is also designed.
That's okay. So just close it. Yeah, second.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Osio, for being here. I can't stop saying thank you. It's really been a pleasure having you here. So creatives, there we have it. It's been an interesting episode. You can agree with me on that. So don't forget, this is the platform for creatives by creatives. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share this, and most of all, drop your comments. Let's hear your thoughts. Let's also reach out to you. Until the next episode, my name is Nnenna Alozie, and I am a creative.